All right, so here's something that likely missing from your life, like big time. And it's a word, it's a concept that will help you when you look at getting the shit done that you actually want to get done, that you know you need to get done. Now, I'll give you a little background, right? If you ever run into this issue where you're setting a goal, like you're going into a new month or a new week or whatever, and you're setting a goal, and you set a goal that is too big, or deep down, you doubt yourself that you're gonna hit it. Like deep down, if you're brutally honest with yourself, right? Your self-honesty, AKA the part of you that can't bullshit yourself. And you look at your goal and you're like, it's too big, but no, I'm gonna get hyped up and I'm just gonna make it happen, right? Or the opposite. You're setting goals, but it's like so simple, it's like so easy that it's not really motivating you and it's not really stretching you to a new level. It's like if you have a goal and you're like, hey, in 3 years I'm gonna get that house. It's like some bullshit because like you can get yourself month to month to really expand when you do it right, where you can achieve those bigger goals way faster. So right now you're either playing small, you're playing too small, or you're playing too big, to put it simple. So I saw this show up in two parts of my life, and then I'll tell you what I did to fix it, and then it allowed me to break through. So being on teams that I'm on, being top performer, being able to like hit the giant ass goals that I had, actually hit them, being able to buy the home that I wanted, being able to have the wife that I wanted, and then even just like setting certain goals of like milestones in life and pushing myself to that edge, right? There's like an edge of where you're doing the most you can, but you're actually making it happen. That's really cool, right? Even with hosting these global events that we do, like with Self Perfected, and having an amount of people that we want to get there, that we need to get there, and doing that, and having never put on events before, and like really stretching myself. This is the guiding idea that has helped me through all of it, okay? So what is that idea? I call it the sweet spot. And the sweet spot is where you have a goal where it's big enough that it's gonna challenge you. You get excited about it. You see it makes sense. And then it's also, though, it's not too big that you go into delusion land and you start just going into doubt and fear and spiraling. And what this looks like is it's going to take you multiple times to get this, realistically. It's not going to be your first time. So what I did, right, this is back in the day. This is my first time I really figured out the power of the sweet spot and how much of an exponential positive effect it can have in your life when you get it dialed in. So what I did, so this is years and years and years ago. I was doing e-commerce, and I would have this crazy goal. If I'm like, hey, I want to make $20,000 a month or $2,000 a day, right? So I'd say $20,000 a month in profit. Or I evolved that, right? So first I did 20,000 a month, and then I was like, maybe I'm playing too small. I should make my goal bigger. So then it's like, well, let me just think of what daily I would want. I was like, yeah, 2,000 a day would be cool. So it was like I was having a goal which I thought was reasonable and I could do it because I was learning e-commerce from some people that were making way more than that. So I was like, cool, I'll do 20,000 a month, even though I'd never done anything close to that really. And then I was like, no, it's not coming in. I was like, for a month, every day I would write down that goal. I would literally write it down like 100 times a day throughout the day in like this whole process, right? And I would write it down to focus on it, right? Because I wanted to get it into my subconscious mind. And I'm sure I still have these journals somewhere. I should go find them. So then I was like, it's not coming in. Maybe my goal's still not good, right? So let me just do daily, right? I'm going to get my e-commerce business to making $2,000 a day in profit, right? And it was still like month after month, it was still just like being stuck. Like, what the hell? I'm thinking about my chief aim. I'm getting excited, right? Chief aim is the term for when you have this goal and it's like put into a succinct sentence of like what you want to have happen, right? So it's like 2K a day, 2K a day in profit, 2K a day in profit. I'm getting hyped, right? I listen to music. I'm focused on it. I'm feeling good about it, right? I would think. And then finally, thankfully, I went to an event and I was introduced to a group that showed me a couple tools. Two of the tools. One is self-forgiveness. The other is a software. It allows you to actually reprogram how the mind works, what's in there. And I started to use that, the reprogramming the unconscious. I started to really unpack, what are my belief systems? What does it mean for me to work, to achieve? I had all this stuff from my childhood around achievement, like success, even stress around like working and making money, and beliefs around money. And after, it took me 3 to 4 weeks of very intensely looking at this. Like, I'm talking hour to 2 hours a day, reprogramming myself. And then I had a conversation with someone who also, part of the group, using these tools. He goes, hey man, when you really look at that goal, your 2K a day, how does that make you feel? And I finally, in that moment, was able to be honest with myself after 3-4 weeks of working on it. I was like, dude, actually, I don't think I can hit that. He goes, good. Good. You're starting to actually see yourself. I'll never forget that. So I was like, okay, I can tell I'm not in the sweet spot with this goal. I thought I was. I genuinely thought I was for like a year when I was like trying to make this big goal happen. So then I go, all right, let me just look at what is the best I've ever done. So I found a month. Again, this was with my ecom business. It was like $3K a month in profit. So I was like, okay, what if I just switch my goal to making $3,500 this month in profit? $3,500, right? And I looked at that, and that's where it lined up in my sweet spot. Because it was like, it's definitely a push. I'm gonna have to do some new things, but I know I can hit that. I know I can hit that. But it was because I started to now have this ability to reprogram myself. That's the real secret of it all. It's not the sweet spot. Because your sweet spot, you'll bullshit yourself with your sweet spot. You'll start to think, oh yeah, I'm gonna get it dialed in, and yeah, I feel good about it. But you don't realize you literally have decades of programming to delude yourself. So then I'm sitting there, I'm daily putting in the activities I have to do, all the stuff that actually starts with then resulting in making that money. Guess what happened, right? I hit that 3,500 in like a week. Then I bumped it up, my goal, 5K a month, hit that before the end of the month. So I'm already at 5K a month. Then I bumped it up to 8 grand in profit, hit that. Then 10 grand, 12 grand. It was like these increments, because that's what actually worked with my sweet spot, because I had understanding and my mind was actually programmed for it. So then fast forward, what's funny is within a month and a half, 2 months of this, guess what happened? I was making 2K a day in profit, right? And it's like, I actually was able to achieve that thing, but it wasn't how I thought I was going to get there. It's because I had a few people in my life who actually really cared about me, and they showed me tools. They showed me a real way to reprogram the mind, to reprogram my behavior, to reprogram my conditioning, to reprogram my associations around money. So much goes into this. I see a lot of people nowadays throwing around the word programming, thinking they know what that means. Unless you've really gone through the specific process I'm talking about, I promise you don't. I don't care if you've been to a Joe Dispenza meditation retreat. I know there's some cool stuff that happens there, but I'm not talking about having to sit there for 20 minutes meditating, focusing on something, hoping it's going to work. Because I know a lot of broke people in the Joe Dispenza stuff too. It's not to down him. He just doesn't know. He just doesn't know the depth to which your words hold the charge. All right, and to the depth to which your words build your mind, which is how you have a distorted view of the world and you sabotage yourself. Unless you were literally raised by multimillionaire, billionaire parents. And then, of course, making money comes easy to you. But then you typically have problems with health or problems with relationships, right? So there's all these different things. And you can use your muscle and willpower and freaking fight it out and, try and focus. And you read Napoleon Hill and Think and Grow Rich. And sure, you'll make a little success. But I'm talking about the people who want to fundamentally change, the people who fundamentally want to perfect themselves, be the best version of themselves. Reach out if you really want to know how to do this, because I can walk you through it. I can show you the way that I've done this and I've mentored other people through it. It is not for the faint of heart, and it's not for people who want to look for little excuses and blame someone else. Like, real, honest self-change is a bitch. Doesn't have to be as hard as you might think it is, but it is a freaking process to actually change, and it's very specific. So if you want to do that and you want to live in the sweet spot and you want to set goals you achieve that motivate you, push you, but also they're like reasonable and you can build and build and build and stack that and then be around other people like that, hit me up, all right? And just reference that you saw this video. See ya.